Please welcome to the stage the Triborough Authority players.
Laid out, puking in the back of a...
This place is amazing. Ugh, Williamsburg is so cool.
It's such a special neighborhood. It's just really a shame what Robert Moses did to it.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that guy a lot, Robert Moses.
Well, he was the most powerful non-elected official in New York City's history, so methinks he's worth mentioning.
Does this look familiar? It's a common scenario. You agree to go out with a guy for dinner or drinks. He's nice, chatty, over 35, and lives in Brooklyn, maybe Queens. Things are going fine until you realize, uh-oh, I'm on a date with a guy who's currently reading The Power Broker. Robert Caro's definitive 1974 biography of the late Robert Moses.
Yeah, so he was like the mayor or something?
Au contraire, mes amis.
I don't think that's the right French
His
word.
title's innumerable, his influence incomprehensible, and his legacy, one need only open their eyes to see it.
Listen, he's not wrong, but he has no right to be this smug. This is a first date. My advice, run for your life.
It feels like I've learned more about Robert Moses than I've learned about you.
Totally. I love A24 films. I'm obsessed with Ethiopian food, and I bike everywhere. So that's how I got interested in urban planning and Moses' effect on our enigmatic city.
Oh, cool. I really love cooking, and that's what got me reading up on food production more, like The Omnivore's Dilemma. And I really loved Everything Everywhere All at
His
Once.
devilish ambition displaced thousands of families, accelerating New York City's economic decline and contributing to a little thing called white flight.
Okay, I hate how you're talking. But this is connecting some dots for me.
This isn't Infinite Jest Guy. This is a different guy. Infinite Jest Guy, he's a libertarian but doesn't actually know what that means. He wears bandanas sometimes. This is not that guy. This is a different guy. God. Well, they are like cousins, though. This one is just most interested in communism and loves to yell at people for double parking. I don't know, girl, I said run!
Before I got my claws in the Power Broker, I thought roads were just kind of like always there.
Totally.
Now, to be totally transparent, I'm only about halfway through it. But it is 1,336 pages after all.
Wow. So you really commit to things, huh?
Well, it's obviously too late for our friend Valerie here. But let her story be a warning to you. One day, you may find yourself on a date just like this, and you better run, girl, run for your life. Or else you will spend 2 years in a relationship with a guy like this.
Now, I'm considering grad school, but I'm really close to getting into Shouts and Murmurs of the New Yorker.
In my case, his name was Jason. Jason.
Naturally, I'm a feminist,
He exclusively dates women under 30.
and I'm really involved in local politics.
He's not. He is not. Oh, gosh. Oh, but he will. I don't know, maybe do a couple change.org petitions. And he will talk about social justice constantly, which I'm not, that's important. It just, God, it can't be your whole personality.
So, what do you say we get out of here?
Did the automobile kill the fence of Pennsylvania Railroad Company?
I haven't gotten that far yet, Valerie!
Tonight on The Power Joker, Congestion pricing expert Charles Komanoff, the host of the Climate Deniers Playbook Nicole Conlan and Rollie Williams, New York native Lana Schwartz, New York Post reporter Bill Hadad, and music from Zenizen. Here's your host of the Power Joker, Robert Moses!
Welcome to the Power Joker. I am your host, Robert Moses. Applause! 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 Thank you! Thank you. We used to have an applause sign, but I tore it down and built a bridge. So, tonight's theme is tolls. Beautiful, beautiful tolls. You know, a toll is like a hug from your mother. It hurts, but it's necessary. We're down here at the beautiful Lower East Side. You know, I never thought much of the Lower East Side. I always thought they should knock it down and build something useful, you know? Like a velodrome. Or, I don't know, a launch point for airships. Or maybe a big pine cone-like structure. You know, that you could climb up and see beautiful views of New York and then kill yourself. Yeah, newly reopened, Hudson Yards, the vessel, newly reopened. Go check it out, as long as you're not having a bad day. All right, what do we got here? But you know, this neighborhood is a great place for aspiring artists, you know, young, fresh artists to come, chase their dreams, give up, and become copywriters for J.P. Morgan Chase. You know, the last time I was in the Lower East Side, I saw that musical, Rent. Oh, what a heart-wrenching story of one of the worst things to happen to people in the 1980s. Rent stabilization. And they were gay, right? Not for me. The only musical that I like is Fiddler on the Roof. Because at the end, they get rid of all the poor people. And they build beautiful Russia. Oh. You know, I famously campaigned against free Shakespeare in the Park. So people think I hate theater, but that's not true. I hate people having a good time outside. Yeah, I built a lot of parks, but I hate the people that use them. They should be for the rich. All right. What else we got here? Now, I know many of you are here because of this damn book, The Power Broker by Robert Caro. Boo! 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 Thank you! We used to have a boo sign, but I ripped it down and built the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. I mean, look, this man can barely write. He's been writing about Lyndon Baines Johnson since 1980, and he's still not done. 40 years to write 4 books? Who does he think he is, George R.R. Martin? I mean, come on. I built the Triborough Bridge, and it took me 3 months, give or take. And my version of Winds of Winter doesn't have Bran in it at all. I got rid of Bran. But really, I am thrilled to be hosting so many connected people here tonight. I assume you're all board members or union leaders or, you know, bankers. Like, sorry, sir, right here. What do you do for a living?
Set dresser.
Set dresser! Okay. We don't want a naked set, I suppose. All right, what about you, ma'am? Here, what do you do for a living? Interior designer, same thing. Does anyone not put curtains up for a living? All right, what about you, ma'am? What do you do for a living?
I'm an executive assistant.
You're an executive assistant, okay. We like this. Connected to business. I've had many executive assistants. What kind of person do you work for?
A tech procurement.
A tech procurement, okay, enough. Enough. All right, so now I have a question. You all came from places. Who thinks they came to this show from the farthest away? Is there anyone who traveled very far here? Not a soul! And that's because of me! Ha-ha! Yeah! What are you gonna do, drive in from Long Island? Are you crazy? I built the roads too thin, there's no trains! Did anyone take an Uber here? Yeah, we got a couple. Oh, you love the Uber, don't you? We love the Uber. Subway, they're too slow. Be on a nice Uber, pay some tolls. Oh, we love a toll, don't we? All right, now to play me to my desk, here's our house band, Guy Lombardo and his orchestra. Enough. We don't need more music than necessary. I said this before. All right, now, where's my T-square? Where is my T-square? Where is my T-square? Thank you. Bring it here. Yes, and my coffee. Thank you. This should have been here already. Let's welcome my counterpart this evening. This is my intern, who I got from a temp agency. Please welcome.
Evan Barden.
Evan Barden. So Evan, why don't you tell the crowd a little about yourself? How old are we, Evan?
Well, I'm 39 years old.
Oof! Now, you're 39 years old. What have we accomplished? What have you built in your 39 years on this earth?
Well, I used to have a podcast where my buddy and I talked about music and had like 12 monthly subscribers.
You used to have a podcast, all right. You know, by the time I was 39, I'd gone 3 miles out of New York to a marsh and brought sand in and built a beach that people still use today.
Yes.
That's what I had done. What have you done? Nothing.
Well, my girlfriend and I have a nice 1.5 bedroom apartment.
Oh,
in
your
Brooklyn.
girlfriend. So things didn't work out with the wife. We're on to number 2.
I've never been married.
Oh, boy, okay. And how long have you and the girlfriend been together?
It's been about 6.5 years.
Woof! All right. Good for you. Why don't we keep the show rolling, eh, folks? Now, we're going to bring up our first act of the evening. Please welcome New York Post investigative journalist, Bill Hadad.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Everyone must pay a toll.
Rotten old son of a bitch. Good afternoon. I'm Bill Hadad. Some of you might remember me from The Power Broker as one of the crusading investigative reporters who sort of blew the lid off of Commissioner Moses' abuses of the Title I housing projects and such. Thank you. Tepid applause.
You okay, bub?
There's something I would like to call your attention to tonight that my investigative reporting instincts picked up on, and this is a quote from The Power Broker that I would like to read to you. This is from a section in which the author is describing all of the writing projects that Commissioner Moses took on at one point during his career, while he had many of his titles. It had always been his ambition to write cheap pulp stuff, Moses man Arnold Vollmer recalls. In the mid-1950s, short on cash as usual, he announced to aides that he was going to write a trashy piece of pulp that he was sure would sell. Ironically, when he finished it, a reportedly sex-filled novel titled From Palms to Pines, and sent it to various publishing houses under a pseudonym, not one would publish it.
Bob,
Now-
is that true? Is that true, Bob?
There was some interest.
Sorry, Bill. Sorry.
That's all right. Now, you might think that given the 1,300-page tome that has rich detail of very substantive issues, for someone to read this one paragraph about a minute detail and fixate on this specifically, you'd have to be some sort of sick pervert. Anyway, I tracked down a manuscript of From Palms to Pines. It is currently being housed in the Anthony Weiner wing of the New York City Society for the Preservation of the Pornographic Arts. Now, I was not allowed to leave with the manuscript. It is under lock and key behind 2 panes of bulletproof glass, along with the dream journals of Rudolph Giuliani, which they are currently transcribing in shifts because all of the transcribers keep dying spontaneously. But I have copied a portion of From Palms to Pines that I would like to read for you now. The Packard's limousine hummed as it drove straight through the toll booth. without stopping. The director's limousine never had to stop at a toll booth, and why should it? He had places to go, people to strong-arm, things to build that nobody ever had a problem with, either now or 70 years in the future, when it ruined their commute day in and day out. There was no exception. Today, he was on his way to be honored for one of his many accomplishments. Construction director Schmobert Schmoses. Now, again, my instincts are telling me that there may be a parallel between Schmobert Schmoses and a semi-autobiographical representation of Robert Moses. Director Schmobert Schmoses had done it all. For years, he had shaped the very face of New York City, and indeed gotten all up in them guts and shaped those too. He rammed bulkheads of steel deep into the muck beneath rivers and harbors, and crammed into the space beneath bulkheads and shore immensities of earth and stone, shale and cement that hardened into 15,000 acres of new land and thus altered the physical boundaries of the city. Now, that last sentence is actually from The Power Broker. Robert Caro wrote it, I just said it funny. He had built the Van Dyck Sexpressway, the Fuckner Sexpressway, the Go Anus Sexpressway, the Dong Island Sexpressway, and the Northern and Southern State Porkways. He had built the Bones Beach Amphitheater, where nightly orgiastic concerts were held by an orchestra presided over by bandleader Guy Libido. His bridges all had horny-sounding names, too, like the Throg's Neck. The pencil in Schmoses' hand was moving furtively across the yellow legal pad, sketching out one of his latest plans. A crosstown highway he was developing needed to be rerouted by 50 feet so that it could destroy an orphanage that would now be in its path. One of his Schmoses schmen had a controlling interest in a private firm that would receive fees for relocating the little bastards. He stopped for a brief moment. "Are we nearly at Gracie Mansion?" he asked. "Just a few blocks away, sir," said one of the various sycophants in his retinue. The Packard was on its way to Titty Hall for the recognition ceremony, but they were making a stop to pick up the mayor. Newly elected Mayor Limp Pelletieri was a rather sad, flaccid fellow who Schmoses, needed to whip into shape. He needed a mayor who was sturdy, reliable, rock hard even. They pulled up outside the mayoral residence and Limp Pelletieri got into the car. "Hello, Limpy," Schmoses said, using his familiar nickname. "I hope you're ready for an unforgettable evening." "Hi there, Schmoses," Limpy said. "I certainly hope so. Today hasn't been so good. I got my foot stuck in a toilet at the ribbon cutting for a new public restroom, and I accidentally gave the key to the city to a large pigeon wearing a Mickey Mantle jersey." "Please, Limpy, call me sir." "Yes, sir," Limpy said. "Thank you for giving me a ride. It means so much to me that I could show up to a big event like this with the greatest builder and best person at sex this city has ever seen." Schmoses grabbed Limpy by the collar and scooted him a little closer on the limousine seat. "I didn't hear a sir in there." "Sorry, sir. Golly gee, I'm such a pudding head. No wonder I have such a hard time getting things done." "Well, then, it's a good thing I'm able to get things done, isn't it?" Schmoses said, leaning in closer. "Sir, do you think you could teach me how to get things done?" "Well, sure. I have my methods, like stake driving and whipsawing." "How does whipsawing work?" "Bend over and I'll show you." Schmoses looked down. It seemed Limpy wasn't so limp anymore. Now, decency laws forbid me from continuing, but I have to say, sir, I'm very into this. I think it's great. It is the only good thing you've ever done, and ironically, we can never read it. Rot in hell.
Bill Hadad, everybody! So that was an egregious invasion of privacy But I will say, in my own defense, no bran in that. So that's no.
I quite enjoyed it, Bobby.
Well. If it isn't former New York State Governor Nelson Rockefeller.
Oh my God.
No, boo! Boo! Boo, he's the villain of the show!
Don't embarrass these people. They recognize me immediately. I'm an eminently recognizable figure from American history. And I was the only man who was ever able to stop you, Bobby.
What do you want, Nelson?
Well, I don't know yet. I was honestly just in the neighborhood looking for some alt comedy. So I popped into my favorite spot. Caveat. And then to my surprise, I find you here. Well, how does that make sense, Bobby?
I bounced back, Nelson, that's how.
Well, I hate it. And I hate you. And I'm gonna get dragged. And I'm gonna be back there, not enjoying this show, but watching it because I paid my money.
You get out of here, Nelson! You let me finish my show!
Fine. But I'll be back, Bobby. And I hate you, too! Pencil-necked intern. And I hate all of you!
Yeah, boo! Boo! Get out of here! Get out of here! Yes. Yeah. Hopefully, just like Gerald Ford, he'll be one and done. All right.
Sorry
Only
about that, Mr. Moses.
Yeah, what the hell? What are you over there
I'm
for?
new. I'm a new intern. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are new. You're about to be old. All right. Let's welcome our guest for the evening. I want to bring on stage a man we're very honored to share the stage with. Please welcome mathematician, activist, and congestion pricing expert, Charles Komanoff. Thank you. Keep going. Pay as much as you want. Thank you. Have a seat. Thank you. So, Charles, tonight's theme is tolls. And as a congestion pricing expert, you might know a thing or two. So, why don't you tell everyone a little about your background and how you came to be a congestion pricing expert?
Well, math and hating cars and loving New York and loving bicycling.
Now we're talking.
And loving the subway.
Hey, boo. I got caught up in the clapping there.
What's your math background? Use that mic.
Well, my wife, who's here tonight,
Shout out, Wads.
once said that what Charles does is he makes numbers speak. And I like that. And so, like, 24 hours later, I had constructed an Excel spreadsheet with 160,000 equations that models congestion pricing better than the MTA's giant, stupid model.
Yeah, maybe for those maybe uninitiated, what's sort of an explanation of exactly what congestion pricing is?
It was going to
Yes.
It's not dead yet.
We'll see.
toll cars and trucks, and a little extra thing for Ubers and Lyfts and yellow cabs for driving into Manhattan below 60th Street. And the idea was, or is, because it might be coming back soon, that most of these car trips and truck trips would continue even in the face of the toll. And that's a feature, not a bug, because this was going to generate at least $1 billion a year in brand new revenue that could be used to bond $15 billion in subway and commuter rail improvements like accessible subway stations.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
As author William Shakespeare once said, there's the rub for old Robbie Moses, because I like the idea of increasing tolls to drive in Manhattan. That sounds great. But using it to build the subway, P.U. stinky, in my opinion. So,
find it.
New York is not the first place that would have had this. This idea isn't new to New York. Were there other cities that have attempted to do similar things?
There are so many. There's London, Stockholm, and Singapore, and Stockholm, and Singapore, and London, and Stockholm, and London, and
We got a few,
Singapore.
we got a
Really,
few.
just 3, but we keep them moving around.
Right. And has it been successful in those cities?
Beyond wildest dreams, and this is serious, especially in Stockholm, where the polling before congestion pricing was 60 against and 40 in favor. So they did a year-long trial, and then they re-voted, and it was now 60 in favor and 40 against. So they kept it, and now 15 years later, it is said that it's unthinkable to not have it.
All right. And I assume it's been generating money for those cities as well.
Well, it's only really here that we need the revenue because, Stockholm, it's in Sweden, and that's a democratic socialist society that
Worthless.
funds good things through federal taxation. England, not so great. Singapore, a little bit oppressive. But it's here that we need the money because the MTA is always out there with a tin cup.
Yes.
Yes, so is our plan, does it resemble these other cities? Would it be similar in how it actually functions?
Our plan was going to be, 5 times as ambitious.
Really?
Well, the toll would only be about the same as in London, $15 maximum. But their toll is only in effect for 12 hours a day and just on weekends. Ours was going to be in effect for 16 hours a day on weekdays and 12 hours a day on weekends. And even I'm like a radical, but I'm also sort of an incrementalist when it comes to making public policy actually work. And even I thought that maybe that was a little bit excessive.
Wow. So now, it was supposed to go into effect. It was all ready to go. Us, the taxpayers of New York City, paid for cameras to be installed in the streets that were built and, to my knowledge, are still there, and yet it has not happened. So what exactly happened, and do you think there is still a chance that it can be passed?
Well, I actually wrote a story about that, or an article called Hochul Murder Mystery. It's in a publication that everybody's reading these days called The Washington Spectator. Why? Apparently, Hakeem Jeffries, the Speaker of the House, and maybe the President, what's his name again?
Biden?
Yes. Talked
Joe
to
Biden.
Governor Hochul in Washington, D.C. at the beginning of June and said, we're worried about losing the House, which you, Governor Hochul, contributed to happening in 2022 due to your inept, governing, and we lost a whole bunch of seats here in New York. And she could have, so put this thing on pause, they may have said. Now, she could have said if it had been Nelson Rockefeller as governor, or maybe even the I shouldn't say that, the former guy. Hochul could have said, you're asking me to do something that no politician will ever do, which is to take this gun and fill it with bullets and point it at my own head and shoot, because this is going to destroy my political credibility.
Yeah.
She didn't. She put it on pause, until maybe November 5th. Something's happening a couple of days from now.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, me neither. I've been drinking a lot. So it may come back similarly to what she put on pause. We'll see and keep organizing and fighting for it.
Could you maybe tell us a little bit how you got involved sort of as a streets activist?
Riding a bike. Before that, just sort of hating the idea of traffic jams. I don't know, I just...
What is it about riding a bike in New York City that turns one into a radical? I'm a 39-year-old intern, so I'm right there with you.
I'll tell you actually something that people don't really think about that much. You know, so traffic is blocked, right? You know, so you're in a car or a cab, and you can't get anywhere. But if you're in a bike, you can sort of make your way through that, and you see the thing that's blocking it, and invariably it's something really stupid. You know, it's a truck that can't be at the curb because somebody's got their own private personal vehicle that they're storing there for free. Or it's some just lame person who could be there to the side, but instead is sort of in the, you know, you just see the absurdity of it all. And, you know, look, this is not about biking and it's not about me, but it's just so great to be able to get everywhere in town on a bike. It feels good. You're outdoors, and that's what I do.
Disagree. This is why I love the first 85% of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Now, Charles, you brought something that you wanted to share with us today that is relevant to congestion pricing, is my understanding.
Well, I did some digging, and in the 50s, you know, when New York was beginning to descend into fiscal impoverishment, a blue ribbon commission was formed by the city and state. How do we know it was a blue ribbon commission?
Because they put a blue ribbon on it.
Yeah. And they put at the head of it Benjamin Buttonweiser.
No.
Benjamin Buttonweiser?
Yeah. And they formulated a list of all kinds of ways that New York City could generate more revenue. And the big ticket item, the only one that got any attention, was that New York should turn over, that the city's entire system of roads, bridges, tunnels, buses, and subways should be put into a New York City Transportation Authority with the power to impose tolls on the East River bridges, kind of like a big chunk of what congestion pricing is supposed to do. And this new authority would also purchase the Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority bonds.
Those are my bonds! You can't buy them because they're mine!
So what did you, Robert Moses, say in response to this proposal?
Wild guess, something very great and eloquent.
And here it is, that this proposal is a turgid stream of words filled with weather-beaten cliches, discarded debris, and dead cats of research.
Like Shakespeare himself.
Sam, I hate to cut us short, but should we play a little giveaway?
Sure.
For Charles?
Yeah.
Charles, you want to be part of our giveaway here?
Well, what do you think?
I think we would love to do that.
Let's do it. Let's give away
Thank
some
you, Charles.
prizes. We have some prizes to give away to you, the audience.
That's right, that's right.
So, great. I'm just gonna, there's nothing on the screen. We're not that advanced till the second half of the show. Don't worry about that. Now, for someone out there who has read that awful trash heap, The Power Broker, can anyone tell me where Robert Moses is from? I got a hand back there.
Shout it out.
We'll give it to him.
Ooh, we'll give it to you.
We'll give it to him. New Haven, Connecticut is correct. What did he win?
You win a mug from the New York Historical Society. I finished The Power Broker.
Yeah, congratulations. You can't get that just anywhere. You can't get it just anywhere. Only at the, what? The New York who's-he?
Historical Society.
Historical Society. All right, amazing. This next question is for people who have not read The Power Broker. And it's more about the wonderful name Moses. Moses, the Raven, is a character in what George Orwell novel?
Shout it out.
Who said it first? Yeah, I'll give it to you. You're the first person I saw.
And you win 2 copies of The Power Broker.
Perfect to read on the subway. Just don't put them in your pockets and walk into a river. Okay. Our final, and this is a newer, smaller version.
No, it's bigger than mine.
Right there.
Well,
Well, now you got 3. Wonderful. Our final. Yeah. If you want a copy of The Power Broker, find her after the show. Okay. Our last question. What is the official name of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel? UL Carey is correct! Evan, what does he win?
You win a USB thumb drive with a low-res copy of D2, The Mighty Ducks.
D2, The Mighty Ducks! The better Mighty Ducks movie. The only problem with that movie is that the man is sentenced to, they sentence an alcoholic to coach kids. That's what that movie's about. Good movie, all right. Boo! Boo! Yeah, you do a toll every time.
I don't, not me. Whoa. What could a toll be? $300?
Can I help you?
I wanted that USB part. Who has it?
He got it.
Damn you! I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you on the show. It's not a joke.
Can I help you, Nelson?
No, you can't. But someone else could and did. You see, I've bought this place since the last time I was on this stage. That's right. Caveat is now my alt comedy venue. And it's going to be just one slate of the Nelson Rockefeller Good Time Open Mic and Comedy Hour. Just every Monday through Friday. No shows on Saturday, Sunday. That's my main time. I just need to get the right email who can shut this show that's going on now down. I don't have that quite yet, but I'll find it, damn it.
You'll never find that email.
I'll find that email.
You get out of here, Nelson. You let me finish my show.
I hate you, Robert Moses.
I hate you, Nelson.
And I hate you, Charles.
Oh, he didn't do
I
anything.
hate you, and I love Gerald Ford.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Who gave him a drink ticket? All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to sort this out. We're going to take a brief intermission, go buy some drinks, take a piss, and we'll see you in a few minutes for the second half of the show. Thank you. All right, Guy, enough. Enough, Guy. You're not selling any albums tonight. You give that guy one job 40 years ago. All right. We're going to keep this rolling with our next presenter. Please welcome to the stage, native New Yorker, Lana Schwartz.
Come on.
Pay the toll.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? Cool. How's everybody doing? Okay, great. So I'm going to talk about where I'm from and in the Fresh Meadows. Do people know where and what Fresh Meadows is? Okay. No, that is a loud no. So you're going to find out. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And this is called What Price Fresh Meadows? Yeah, you can go next. It's on the 1932 film What Price Hollywood. It has nothing to do with this, but I just think that that's nice. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little background on Fresh Meadows. And yeah, in the theme of tolls, I'm going to talk about the literal toll of being from Fresh Meadows, like what it costs, and then the emotional, metaphorical toll of what it is like to be from Fresh Meadows. So yeah, this is the subway map. You guys know it, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Here's where most people think Queens ends, right? Yeah, yeah, next slide. Here is where I'm from. Not the best graphic design work, but you get it, right? So I grew up in Fresh Meadows, an exclusive rental community, a housing development, and unfortunately, exclusive rental community does mean that it has racist origins, unfortunately. Yeah, we don't like that. But here's a Reddit post I found from someone looking to move to my neighborhood 3 years ago. The apartment itself has really nice amenities at a low rate, but when I looked at Google Maps/images, I'm gonna be honest, I don't love what I've seen. I just feel like this area doesn't have a lot of stuff. yes, you do. It's not near a subway line. You do have to take the subway or the bus to the subway. But I do want to say there is stuff there. I went on my housing development that I grew up in, their website, and it did have the local Hooters listed as a landmark. So I just want you to know. Also on there was the community parking garage. So there's tons to do and a place to park your car, which I know.
Cars!
Okay, so you can go to the next slide. The thing I like to say about my neighborhood, I didn't grow up, to be clear, in like a AOC, People's Republic of Astoria neighborhood. I grew up in the kind of neighborhood where you find out about a cop who accidentally shut his gun off at a Third Eye Blind cover band concert. We love Third Eye Blind, just not a place for guns. And there are a lot of parks in Fresh Meadows. There's like, I want to say 2 to 3 parks on every block even. They all look like this. They're all kind of ugly, but there is no shortage of parks, right? And so between the parks and the cops, I do like to say that my neighborhood is Robert Moses' wildest dream come true.
There we go. A modern utopia.
Yeah. And it turns out, thanks to the power broker, I do know that it's because Robert Moses created it when he drafted the State Redevelopment Companies Law, which created Peter Cooper Village in Stuytown, Riverton, and also Fresh Meadows.
Oops.
And I use, it was for people who have read the book or haven't, it's those first that I mentioned were financed by Metropolitan Life, and mine, the one I grew up in, was financed by New York Life, insurance companies. And I always said they look the same, and now I know why. And to that end, ugly.
Hey. Fair.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, to that end, what price Fresh Meadows? So I tried to summarize the State Redevelopment Companies Law, and this is as far as I got. I'm being really transparent here. Now I understand why it takes him so long to write his books, Robert Caro. But the thing to know is that it was racist. And in where I grew up, thankfully, as far as I know, he did not have to redevelop any communities, relocate any communities, but he did build over a golf course, which I did find surprising, to be honest.
It was a disappointment for me.
Okay, so the next slide. Rent will cost you from $1,650 a month for an efficiency garden apartment, which isn't bad for New York City, right? I don't know what all of you pay, but I think not bad. But on the other hand, next slide, you will develop an unhealthy fascination with the musical Rent because you can't believe that there are people who live in New York City who have such a different life from you. I'm really glad Rent has come up multiple times already. Okay.
Good show.
Attending a New York City high school, New York City Public High School. Can we give it up for the New York City Public School System? Yeah, thank you so much. $0, right? But, next slide. Yeah, attending a New York City public high school, the feeling that no matter what you do, no matter how good your grades are, no matter how much you achieve, you can go to the next, you will never be important or matter because you are surrounded by 4,500 other kids at all times. And that's what the halls look like to this day. Yeah, I know, it's brutal, right? One time I got my wallet stolen and I didn't have any money in it because it was so crowded, you used to get pickpocketed regularly. I didn't have any money in it, but I did have prowlers, which were what my Latin teacher gave out to get you extra points on your Latin tests. So that was another cost, was I didn't do as well in Latin as I could have. Yeah. So, as you all know, Robert Moses built some highways. The ones near me, Grand Central Parkway, Clearview Expressway, Long Island Expressway. Part of the reason why there's no subway access in Eastern Queens is because instead of building subway infrastructure, he followed his heart and he built hundreds and hundreds of miles of highways. So if you want to get an easy pass, that's about $30 a month. But unfortunately, the cost of having no public transportation is you may become like this. This is Bayside, not where I grew up, but very close. or you become a sitting New York City council member who tweets like this. Yeah.
Yay! Good.
Yeah. Vicky, are you here tonight? Or you may be so out of step with your city that you, in the World Series, you side with Los Angeles. Yeah, and I say this as a Mets fan, but still. Okay, so for me, I didn't learn how to drive. I also didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was an adult. My student Metro card at the time was like $1 for a subway ride. I got half fare. But I became so good at public transportation, like I said, I never learned to ride a bike, and I had to see this on Hinge 3 years ago, and I think about it every day. It haunts me more than any breakup. My larger issue is that I grew up here, and I do know how to ride a bike, but not well, so. Juicy Couture sweatsuit, $119, yeah. Teen night at Limelight, which is a real thing my friends and I went to, $15, right? The feeling that you are so caught between New York City and Long Island culture that you feel like you're a car stalled on the Midtown Tunnel. That's how it feels. Or like a fish that can only swim in the East River. Yeah. So University of Delaware tuition, that's where I went to college. Maybe like 20, yeah, thank you, University of Delaware.
Really?
Really that I went there, or really that somebody's cheating?
Really that somebody else from Delaware is here?
Yeah, they're my friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's important to stay in touch with.
Blue Hawks?
Blue Hens.
Blue Hens!
Yeah, go Blue Hens. Yeah, yeah. Cool. So, so then the feeling that, basically like this, no matter how much you tell people you are from Queens, they will think you are from Brooklyn. You will feel like him every day of your life. Long Island Railroad ticket from Bayside to Penn Station, $7. Okay, then meeting people all around New York City who refer to Astoria as Deep Queens and Forest Hills as Deep Queens. You feel like this. Yeah. Rates to go to Robert Moses State Park, $10 a car. That's where I used to go to the beach growing up.
Hell yeah.
We sat in traffic for like 2 hours each way.
You're welcome!
People saying you're from Long Island because you grew up near Long Island, you also feel like that. Yeah. So I'm going to give you a total. Let's say, yeah, $16.50 for rent, $30 for I don't remember what $30 was. Thank you, Easy Pass. I think I put it out of order. $30 for the Easy Pass, $0 for public high school, $50 for like a week for a Metro card, $119 for a Juicy Couture sweatsuit. I still have at least half of mine. $15 for teen night at Limelight, yeah. $25,000 to go to college. My parents, they helped out with that one. $7 for Long Island Railroad.
Yep.
$10 for the beach, the car at the beach. Maybe $26,881. Be a tough week on your bank account. That's the total, but being credited as a native New Yorker on the Robert Moses Power Joker show, priceless. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Lana Schwartz! Lana Schwartz, native New Yorker. Amazing. I love it. I love where she grew up. And nothing about that upset me. Great. We're going to keep it moving, and let's please welcome back to the stage congestion pricing expert Charles Komanoff. And please, hey, whoa. Thank you. And please, welcome to the stage for the first time from the podcast Climate Deniers Playbook, Nicole Conlan and Rollie Williams. Come up, pay your toll. Thank you so much for being here. Rollie, thank you for the mustache. All right.
You're welcome.
So now, the two of you host a podcast about the environment.
Correct.
Boo, okay. So back to congestion pricing. Can you maybe give us some insight on the environmental impacts that congestion pricing may or may not have?
Sure. I mean, cars famously produce pollution.
And do you have evidence of that?
Are you possibly pro pollution, or are you just like pro cars in general? What's your angle here?
I'm definitely pro cars.
Okay. But you haven't worked out how you feel about pollution?
I'm not a Captain Planet villain, you know.
I don't know, man.
Listen, I don't believe that cars do anything bad. Let's say that's my perspective.
Okay.
Not only do they do something bad, but a lot of times in New York City, they will pollute just when they're idling.
For fun.
Yeah. Just for kicks. And the more congestion there is, the more that those cars are allowed to idle, the more pollution that there's going to be.
Now, I've been told, can you two back me up on this? I've been told, thank you, that if you see a truck idling in the street, there's a phone number you can call?
You gotta like video record it for 2 full continuous minutes, and then you can send in the video and get like a fee. They'll pay you to record a truck like that. Which is cool, but then like what if you get your ass kicked by the person driving the truck?
Yes, put your neck on the line.
There's never been a better time to be an adult tattletale.
Yeah. I prefer vigilante.
Yeah, we got a regular Batman over here. All right. So congestion pricing will help this, though, you're saying, by increasing just the general flow of traffic through the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally, I mean, like if you are trying to discourage a behavior, you make it more expensive. That discourages the behavior. So it will definitely.
That's why I charge my boyfriend $45 when he leaves his socks on the floor.
There you go.
I have a question. Maybe Charles, you know. You said earlier that congestion pricing like helps everyone, right? And so it's not just like the pedestrians, the cyclists, the MTA getting funded, but does just having congestion pricing also kind of like make traffic move better?
Objection, leading the witness.
Yeah, and that's been undersold by the MTA and the governor. I can tell you how much the plan that got pulled will or would, by traffic would go about 15 to 17% faster in the zone, Manhattan south of 60th. But even more important, all the roads and bridges leading into Manhattan, from Sheepshead Bay or Scarsdale, traffic will go faster as well because there'll be fewer cars on the road trying to jam into that place because more people will take the trains or buses or, carpool.
Now, it was my understanding that the best way to improve traffic is to build more highways and bridges. So why don't we just do that, huh?
We did it.
Problem solved. Problem solved.
Have you talked about induced demand on this show yet? We got a big fan
We
of
got a
induced
fan of
demand out here.
Yeah, who's a big fan of induced demand in this room?
We got
Anybody?
induced demand.
Okay.
We have it. Why don't you tell me what that is?
So induced demand is a phenomenon. It's normally associated with widening highways, but
Love that.
would also work with just increasing the total number of highways where because it is now faster to get somewhere, you're actually encouraging more people to drive instead of taking alternative modes of transport.
And to drive further than they would have done.
Yeah.
Good.
So by building a highway, you are inducing demand for the highway.
Which is good.
No.
I'm not following at all.
Okay.
Induced demand. Look up later. Okay. So really, now I think is the time in the show to do a thing called a call to action.
Okay.
What can people do to actually get congestion pricing moved forward in this city?
I will say I have heard from people who work in the governor's office that the staff there has been truly shocked that people care about this and have cared for so long. So like the angry phone calls and no longer tweets because we don't do that anymore. Are we on Blue Sky? If you're on Blue Sky and you're skeeting, which is what it's called.
Skeet on the governor.
Yeah,
Really?
do
We're
that.
skeeting on the governor.
Jesus
The more angry phone calls and posts that they get, I think it really actually is the one time where posting online is having an impact.
Yeah. Give the governor's number. Yeah, just shout whatever you want from the crowd. Yeah, it's that kind of show. Just feel free.
No, see, by saying that, you're inducing demand for more people.
Yeah, there we go.
You don't want to make room for the hecklers because then more will show up on your commute.
Thank you. We should have had you on stage the whole time. You're about to be out of a job.
May I? 212-684-4580.
And that's the only time we're going to say it, so I hope you wrote it down. All right. So, okay, so I guess do that if you want that. I don't want it, so I'm not going to do it. Great. Should we,
Play a little game?
I don't want to sound like Jigsaw, but should we play a little game?
You are the Jigsaw of New York City.
I am. I truly am. I've built traps, and you're all in them.
Jesus Christ.
Great. So we're going to play a little game.
Let's do it.
If you guys want to, because you're going to need to see the screen. So you just want to scoot. This is the scooting section of the show. That's perfect.
Sure, yeah, everyone can
It's
come
up
over
to
here.
you.
Okay.
Great. So this game is called New York, the Big Easy Pass, or How Much Does This Trip Cost? So we're going to show you a trip from somewhere in New York to someone else, and we're going to ask you all to guess the amount of money that trip costs. And who's ever closest without going over will win a point.
A point.
And we gave away all our prizes. So, let's show them the first. And also, keep in mind, Evan, what are the parameters again?
You are in a normal sedan with New York State Easy Pass, and it is peak hours.
And this is how much it costs
In
currently,
tolls.
not with
Yes.
congestion pricing?
Currently.
Okay.
Show it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, here we
that
go.
thing we just said. Okay.
Palisades Interstate Park, New Jersey, to Crotona Park, the Bronx.
Palisades Park. Last night I took a walk in the dark. I went down to Palisades Park. You know that song?
Bobby Rydell.
Yeah.
Bobby Rydell.
Wow.
Thank you. Written by the guy who hosted the Gong Show. Yep. So, Rollie.
$25.
$25. Nicole.
I'm going $1.
$1. She's going low.
Oh,
Breaking
you
right
can't
rules.
go $1 in
Charles.
second place.
12.
12. Show it to him. 50-38. Point to Charles.
Charles.
Point to Charles. All right. We got a lot of these. Let's go to the next one.
You might have said this. Is it Price is Right rules? Don't go over?
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
go
yeah,
over.
don't go over.
I definitely said that. All right, LaGuardia Airport, you've all been there. Named after Fiorello LaGuardia. To the marketplace in Edgewater, New Jersey.
This is for when you get off a flight and immediately you're like, I gotta go to the marketplace.
Yeah.
You need udon.
I gotta get a shirt.
All right, for the sake of fairness, Charles, you'll go first. How much do you think?
$6.50.
$6.50. Nicole.
$12.
$12. Rollie.
$12.01.
$12.01.
You
Let's see it.
righted me.
Oh!
I should have said $6.51.
I'm gonna throw this out there that it feels a little unfair to us to be playing against Charles.
Can we be on a team?
No.
It was worth a shot.
It's just this is like win Ben Stein's money. You got to beat Ben Stein. All right, let's show the next one.
All right.
Wyatt.
This one's even longer. Jacob Reeves Parks, Queens, to Bowling Green, Manhattan, to the Unisphere in Queens.
Now,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you take the Belt Parkway past JFK though?
Well, because
I'm an intern,
drugs.
okay?
Yeah.
I don't understand driving in New York.
All right, who hasn't gone first? Nicole, you're first.
I'm gonna say 876.
876, Charles.
Whoa. And this is in a car, right?
Yes.
A sedan.
It's going to be $2 down here plus.
I will reiterate.
He's a mathematician,
Yo, let him-
expert in tolls.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Can we do one where we have to name famous That Mitchell and Webb sketches?
Oh.
Because I think we would crush
Are we
that
the
one.
baddies? Number Wang. Sorry, go ahead.
This is kind of a traffic number, Wang.
It is kind of a traffic number, Wang. Sorry, you were.
You're stalling.
I mean, I'm guessing third. I'm guessing 1 cent over whatever you guess.
$15.50.
$15.50.
1552.
1552. Let's see it. Show it to me.
Let's go! Let's go!
Rollie with the strategic.
Cheat to win. You get it.
Yeah, I get
it.
So that's gonna cheat to win. All right, Evan, how many more of these are there?
40?
I think 2 more.
2 more, okay,
Yeah,
Rollie.
we're good.
You show him the next one. Here we go. Whoa! Who is this psychopath?
You want me to do this one? Montauk, State Point Park, Montauk, to Orchard Beach, the Bronx, to 83 Dwight Street, New Haven, Connecticut, the childhood home of Robert Moses, which was bulldozed during New Haven's urban renewal period in the late 1950s.
Got his ass.
A breezy 181-mile, 4-hour drive where you technically only leave New York City at the end.
If only you built that bridge over the Long Island Sound, Bob.
Hey,
$5 on the button.
all right, no way that's right.
I'm gonna go 2133.
2133?
694.
Oh,
I was
let's
so
see
far
it.
off.
How are you doing?
There's a small toll when you enter.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. 694.
You forgot about the Connecticut toll, you idiot.
All right, I think we got one more. This is like watching A Beautiful Mind.
Robert Moses' summer home in Baldwin, New York, to the New York State Capitol in Albany, to Niagara Falls, New York.
Niagara Falls, that's where it trips you up. Nicole Conlan.
I'm going 2133 again.
Okay.
I'm just gonna see if you got it written down here. He doesn't. All right. 1041.
Clearly just pulling that out.
A lot of money, like 25.
25. All right.
Ready?
Don't be 25.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, the 25 is the New York up until the $14 Niagara Falls, though. Holy shit.
Wait, the Tappan Zee Bridge? I thought that was only charged eastbound.
Not.
Are you fucking kidding? You broke the game! You broke the game! You're the new intern!
Yeah. Congratulations! I'm pretty sure Charles Komanoff!
Holy shit.
An actual, I don't know how he did this.
You are the Barry Bonds of this game.
That was one of the craziest.
He's juicing!
He's juicing! Give this man a standing ovation!
Well, Bob.
Let's go!
Let's get out of here.
I demand we test Charles's urine.
All right, now for our... Oh! Nelson, what are you doing here?
Am I too early?
No.
I'm shutting you down, Bobby!
What?
Someone told me back there the toll's only like a few quarters, so you owe me a lot of money, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I found the right email, Bobby. His name is Ben, and he's very cordial via email. Pretty easy to book a show here. Oh, well, he used to be. Now I own it, okay? Look, I'm just here to say that this was a good time, but I'm shutting it down.
What?
The Power Joker is over.
Oh!
Wait. I'm going to invite you after this show. Find me out there, fucker. At Nelson Rockefeller. I was vice president to jail 4.
We all know. Now, Nelson, please. I know you're the one man in the world who has power over me.
Yeah.
We do have a musical guest. And I know deep down in your heart that you're an artist.
I did found the State Council for the Arts, which was the first state-funded program for the arts in the country ever. So we like Nelson! We love Nelson! So fine, have your musical guest, but I heard you didn't know what induced demand was.
Get out of here!
Dumbasses.
All right, before we bring our guests, let's hear it one more time for our wonderful guests on stage, Nicole Conlan, Rollie Williams, and the beautiful mind himself, Charles Komanoff. And now, please welcome to the stage to serenade you, Zenizen. thank you so much for coming. Hey, thank you for coming out. Thank you for so much for coming out. Hey, thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. Hold on. Come over. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I shook his hand better. I'm gonna shake more hands than you.
I'm very excited to be here. I was actually asking backstage, I was like, that is why my Easy Pass is always replenishing. Like, freaking outrageous. So I'm gonna play a couple songs for you. My name's Opal, my project is called Zenizen. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Thank you so much. I could just even crank it a little more. Oh, amazing.
You cry, sing down, what's inside. baby. When it's white, that's white, that's white, that's white, that's white. Ooh, it's so hard to be okay. It's so hard to be okay. Oh, baby, it's so hard to be. But you had to hold her. How did you?
Cheers, thank you so much.